3, Sir Chrysler at $7. 4, High Reason is at 31, and that is big overs too for High Reason. 16 for Royal Kiwi, Latin Class at $9.60, and 8, Nina is at $10. These are 2-year-olds over 1,300 metres. Tasman Raider 10, Not Pina 460, and Mohini Surprise at 35. Just for punters having a bit of a flutter on New Zealand, Tone. Any thoughts on the second?
Well, Scream's a chance, I suppose, Matt. This one's by Indentation, trained by Paul O'Sullivan, and Indentation's a horse we used to see over here. He's by Biscay, trained by Ray Guy. Very smart horse, Indentation. Scream has only had the 2 runs. He scored last time out at Tauranga. Tauranga. Bad pronunciation, was it? I'm learning, Matt.
There's a few of them that we're going to have to learn with this New Zealand racing. Evans was runner-up at Te Awamutu 2 runs back, was runner-up at Ellerslie last start, and runner-up at Avondale at its first run back from a spell. So it's been very consistent in the minor placings. Today might be the day it puts a win on the board. Evans is 370, Not Pina 480, 3 Sir Chrysler 680, Scream 790, 10 Latin Class and Tasman Raider $11. The 2 to watch in terms of the overs, Scream and High Reason, 2 and 4 raced to New Zealand. Now, a big day of jumps today. At Hastings is Mike O'Sullivan. At Tauranga is Darren Tyquin. So let's link up with Darren. Race to New Zealand.
$3.60 and $1.60 at the moment. Scream on $4.50 and $1.90. Why Not Peter, who's just gone in, $5.90 and $2.05, and then out to High Reason on $7.30 and $2.40. And Sir Chrysler $7.85 and $2.35. Scream, the next one to come forward. Scream going up for Jim Collett, just a little bit fractious at the gates, not wanting to go in, but Collett coaxes it along. Scream is ready, and we've got Royal Kiwi and Mohini Surprise to join the line, and we'll be ready to go for race number 3 from Racing Tauranga. 1,300 metres a journey. 3 attendants working on Royal Kiwi. Other runners make a good line. Royal Kiwi goes in, and Mohini Surprise, one of the outsiders in the field, on 27 and 560, will be the last one to link up. Starter Mr. Humphreys on his rostrum. We're ready to go. 1,300 metres a journey. High Reason stands up on the inside. Gates are back. Sir Chrysler stood there, missed it about a length or so over on the inside, and High Reason, one of the best to begin. From Latin Classes, shooting up to take it on now over on the outside, and then 11 Sir Screamers very wide. Just in behind those horses then was Tasman Raider, and then Sir Chrysler. Nina going around the outside, about 2 lengths away then to Royal Kiwi, followed by Why Not Peter, is second to last over on the inside, and Mohini Surprises last of all as they leave the back behind them now, and they run down the side. 900 to go, and it's High Reason taken on by Latin Class, and Scream right around the outside has raced into it to make a line of 3. They've been followed then by 11 who's camped off the pace, followed by Tasman Raider, then Sir Chrysler on the outside. Out deep on the track then was Nina as they come down to the turn. In behind those horses then making ground as Mohini Surprise right around the outside of Royal Kiwi, and they've been followed then by Why Not Peter back on the inside, and Nina about to be pulled up, I'd say, has dropped out about 20 lengths. Last of all, they fan across the track, entering into the home straight now, and Sir Chrysler on the outside has raced out after these leaders with Scream in the middle. Latin Class, High Reason are still there. Why Not Peter looking for a run. 11s and Tasman Raider are coming through in the middle. Collett's taken Scream to the lead though. It's Scream in front at the 100-metre mark from Sir Chrysler on the outside. High Reason's getting up on the rail. Might be the winning run. It's Scream, High Reason, photo, High Reason from Scream. Mohini Surprise rockets down the outside. Photos with 11s and Why Not Peter for the minors. They've been followed then by over on the outside there was Sir Chrysler, and in behind them there was Tasman Raider, Latin Class, and then Royal Kiwi, who's dropped out, and Nina tailed the field about 100 yards last of all. High Reason has got right up on the inside of Scream. Sir Chrysler on the outside at the 100-metre mark. Looked like winning on the home turn, but Scream went to the lead under the whip riding of Jim Collett. Then High Reason got through on the inside, started to sail through for Mark Duplessis, who's riding in rare form. High Reason, Scream, they hit the line, and High Reason will get it all right. High Reason on the inside, photo finishes Scream. And what a blanket of them there, a wall of them there for third, and I'd say it's possibly 11sis on the outside from Why Not Peter over on the rail, Adrian. A great performance there by High Reason, getting right up on the inside to win race number 3.
Yes, High Reason Scream looked like he had it won. There was a bit of screaming there too, Tony, cheering him home, but High Reason has darted up on the inside and grabbed him.
Yeah, no excuses for the runner-up, Matt. Scream dashed to the front, looked home for your life, didn't it? But High Reason broke its duck. It had been placed at Ellerslie about 3 weeks ago.
All right, we'll stand by for third. Race 3, New Zealand, and we're back to Hastings for a 2,000 metre maiden in 10 minutes. 1 Gemini 11, 2 Novacity 9.50. It's the favourite in New Zealand. Redeemer 39, 4 We Becurse at 18, 5 Untamed Heart 11. Kenny Peru at 21, Glow Carp at 25, and 8 Holy Man at $19. Holy Man's the second favourite. I'm Test 28, Coyote Bay 25, Louisa 100, Luesca 100, 57 is it, Tim Timber 11, South of Dixie at $2.30, and Lucky Tip is at 25 for the third, coming up in 10. That favourite Lucky Tip much better in New Zealand. That's coming up in 10 minutes. Not a big pool at this stage, but we'll be...
And raced in the same event as Honeyman, I should say, and 3 runs over ground lately have looked pretty good for Untamed Heart. Looks like only one to come forward. All but set for the third of the day. The Charlie Fergus Stayers over 2,000 metres, all in line. Favourite Honeyman at $5.60 and $2.20, and the lights on, they'll be set to go. And they're off and racing in the third of the day. And through on the inside, Coyote Bay and I'm Test, the stablemates have begun pretty well, and so too Untamed Heart. Out in the centre, Kenna Peru's on the journey with Redeemer. They're followed out then by Louisa, then Is It. Out on the outside, Iescawan. Settling back in midfield then was Zouiba Becurse, south of Dixie. Gemini, she's settled about third or fourth last. The favourite Honeyman second to last. On the inside is Tim Timber, and Lucky Tip 3 out on the outside is actual last out of the straight. They run across with about 1,500 metres left to travel, and Redeemer sets the speed now by 2 lengths for Robert Hannam. In second is Untamed Heart and Kenna Peru. They were followed back then by the stablemates Coyote Bay and I'm Test. There's one zooming forward, it was Louisa, and that's gone to the front in the run towards the 1,200 metres. Getting back in midfield, Iescawan with a wee Becurse, then back then to south of Dixie. Nova City's over on the outside of that, then Gemini, followed by Tim Timber and Honeyman second to last, and Lucky Tip is the tailor. So through the 1,000-metre point they go, and Louisa by 4 lengths opens up now on Kenna Peru running second. The local Redeemers third, followed then by, on the inside, Untamed Heart of Is It. They were followed then by Coyote Bay. The next is a wee Becurse and Iescawan, followed then and behind them now, passing the 800 metres. The next is I'm Tess. They were followed by Nova City. Back on the inside of that is south of Dixie, Glow Carps on the outside. Tracked up then by Honeyman, starting to go forward now. Tim Timber's third last, Gemini second to last, and Lucky Tip given a hurry up as they come inside the 500 metres. They're on the corner here in the third of the day. The leader on the inside is Louisa, challenged hard by Kenna Peru. Untamed Heart out in the centres coming into it. Redeemer right in behind them. Nova City starting to be a threat. Honeyman starting to lengthen now, and Zouiba Becurse on the outside of it. Tim Timber and south of Dixie in behind them. Halfway down the 200 metres now, and Nova City hits the front from Untamed Heart. Redeemer through on the inside, and Honeyman stretching out strongly, running on Tim Timber. Nova City's in front from Redeemer, closing quickly. Nova City, Redeemer and Honeyman. They were followed by Untamed Heart and south of Dixie. The next one to go by was Tim Timber, then Gemini, Glow Carp, followed by Kenna Peru, Zouiba Becurse. Lucky Tip, they were followed back then by Coyote Bay and I'm Test. The stablemates have finished together. Louisa, who hit the front, is compounded, followed back by Is It, and Iescawan would be the last of 16 to go over the line.
Nova City number 2, ridden by D.R. Weatherly, $6.50 the win, $2.30 the place, 3 Redeemer, $3.20, and 8 Holy Man, $3.50, 238 past the post. Grant Searle was the winning trainer. We were only talking about our Mace K about 15 minutes ago.
That's for sure, yeah.
And a grey this time, Nova City, a grey mare by Horosity. New Zealand race 4 coming up in 17 at Tauranga, 3-year-old handicap, and $30 our 5-star, Shading 140, Puka Cura Jogger 16, Heart of the Ocean 42, Evil Tanker opens up at 35, Good Cake 32, Shitella 21, Will Prevail is $19. 13 for Altavine, class above 16, Flying Chapel 25, Judette's 100, 56 for Regal Air, and 14 My Happiness at $45. Fourth in 17 minutes time. We'll be heading to Sydney in just a moment and get Shading number 2, the best back runner, as we take you to the track.
Head upstairs and link up with Darren Tyquin.
Will Prevail comes along. My Happiness goes in. So we're set and ready. 1,300 metres the journey. Heart of the Ocean stands on the inside. The gates are back and they're off and racing now. And Pukakura Jogger, one of the best to begin with. Heart of Ocean over on the inside, and Will Prevail jumped out nicely, and so did Evil Tanker, is up there vying for the leader. They've been followed by Judette and Regal Air over on the outside as they settle down. Eltavine is very wide, and so is Our 5 Star. They've been followed by Flying Chapel, and further afield then My Happiness over on the outside. A couple of lengths to Good Cake, and they've been followed then by Shading. Then Class Above is back running second to last, and about 2 lengths away. In last placing is Shy Teller as they go by the 800 metre mark and running along down the side of the track, and the leader is Heart of the Ocean. It's Heart of the Ocean, the leader over on the inside. Evil Tanker is having a shot at it now, and coming at them now out 3 deep in the track is Our 5 Star as they run down to the home turn. They've broken out about 2 lengths then to Will Prevail, who's the next runner, followed by Eltavine, who's been forced to press on out very wide on the track. In behind them then is Pukakura Jogger back on the inside as they're strung out a little bit round the bend. Flying Chapel is coming into it further afield on the outsider, then Judette and Regal are into the straight. They run now, 300 metres to go, and Our 5 Star on the outside, coming out after Heart of the Ocean. Evil Tanker in the middle, and they've been followed then by Eltavine and My Happiness right down the outside, but it's still Heart of the Ocean fighting on. Evil Tanker on the outside tries hard. Heart of the Ocean in front, close to home for Noel Harris. Heart of the Ocean from on the outside, Evil Tanker, and Our 5 Star, My Happiness right down the outside. They've been followed by Pukakura Jogger. In behind those runners then was Eltavine, Shading, and Good Cake the outside from Regal are back over on the inside. They've been followed by Judette, and then came Will Prevail, Flying Chapel, and well out of the race then was Shy Teller, one of the last runners over after the running of the Papamoa Family Tavern 3-year-old event number 4 on the day.
Graham Rogerson trains the winner in his New Zealand stable. Heart of the Ocean, $19.80 and $6.50. Noel Harris was the winning rider. 5 Evil Tanker, $6.80, and 1 Our 5 Star at $2.80. 4-5-1 the placings. Race 4 New Zealand, a bit of an upset. That favourite Shading did absolutely nothing. Race 5 New Zealand coming up in 11. 6.80 for Bodle number 1. 3 Little Bro 180. 4 Classic Moon 11. 5 Fly Past 14. 6 The Mighty Machine 12. 13 Bellop, and 8 His Worship at $6.70. That's the field. A hurdle over 3,100 metres coming up at Hastings in 11 minutes. One on the New Zealand TAB. The favourite over there is Little Bro number 3 at 6-4. Even money here, $2 on the New South Wales win. 4 Classic Moon, $8.90. 5 Fly Past is at $7.70. It's a chance, according to New Zealand punters. Fly Past number 5 of beating the favourite. 6 The Mighty Machine, 18. 7 Bellop at 13, and 8 His Worship at $7.70, paying about 9-1 on the New Zealand TAB. That's the rundown.
Absolute glorious day for racing in the Bay, and they're off in the East Coast Contractors hurdles. A little bit slow was Bellop and getting back to His Worship as they come towards the first quite early. And over on the outside, who's going to arrive at it first? It'll be Fly Past, followed back and behind them then by Little Bro. Up and over they go the first, and the leaders took it okay. Little Bro jumped the better. Fly Past running second, then Classic Moon third. At the second in the back straight, and then Bodle went over it a little slowly with Bellop. In behind is His Worship as they work through the back straight, and back to second to last, The Mighty Machine. They've gone over the third of 11 now, and running towards the 800 metres on the first occasion, where Little Bro and Jason Peake sets the speed now from Fly Past, the local, who was a very easy winner at Otaki last Saturday. They've opened up by about 10 or 12 lengths now on the grey Classic Moon running third, then Bodle one off the fence, as the 2 leaders come to the 1 by the 600 on the first occasion, so they've got 2,300 to go, and they're jumping like rabbits, these 2 in front, and the leader Little Bro from Fly Past on the outside. Heading the chase is Classic Moon, then Bodle, back and behind them Bellop, about 5 lengths away then to The Mighty Machine, and the tail ender is His Worship, who must be giving these 2 leaders the best part of 20 lengths as they come to the straight for the first time now, and 2 to go over in the straight, and Fly Past. All dipped on landing, and out goes Brendan Gregg. So right atop Fly Past. The jump was good by Little Bro. And it takes a clear lead now from the riderless Fly Past as Little Bro comes to the second of the straight and sights it and has a look at it. Up and over he goes, Little Bro, and so did Fly Past the riderless. Third now is Classic Moon. Alongside of that, then leaving the straight is Bodle, followed by Bellop. And back at the tail, the Mighty Machine, and outside of it now is His Worship. So they work across towards the 1,600 metres. The East Coast contract is Hawke's Bay Hurdles for the year 2000. And the riderless horse going up on the outside of Little Bro, that's Fly Past, the riderless one, tipped out in the straight. Classic Moon has moved into second now, and third then is Bodle, followed back then by Bellop going a race, then Mighty Machine, and outside of that then is His Worship. So a compact unit as they come to the one by the 1,200 metres. And Jason Peake in front here narrowly from Classic Moon for Clayton Chipperfield, who numbers the Awapuni Hurdles among his best winning rides. At the second in the back straight now, these two leaders going at it. Little Bro and Classic Moon by 5. Bodle running third, then through on the inside the Mighty Machine, Bellop, and outside of it His Worship, the third and final one in the back straight, and they've all gone out of it okay, bearing in mind that Fly Past was tipped out in the straight. So the leader is Little Bro. 800 to go from Classic Moon on the outside of it. About 5 lengths away, running third then is Bodle. Then moving forward now His Worship, joined by Bellop, and back on the inside the Mighty Machine. Coming towards the one by the 600 metres now and jumping together the Little Bro and Classic Moon. About 3 lengths away then to Bodle's coming into it. Ridden up now His Worship, being joined on the inside with 500 metres left to go as they come towards the top of the straight. The Mighty Machine, and dropping out is Bellop. So there's only one to go now for the Hawke's Bay Hurdles field. Classic Moon over on the inside, Little Bro, and Bodle sneaking up on the inside, and wide out the Mighty Machine for Gavin Krofsky. They've jumped 4 of them. Down went Classic Moon at the last. That's left the Mighty Machine and Bodle in front. The Mighty Machine and Bodle clear of Little Bro, who's battling now a distance away to Bellop, and right out of it towards the rear His Worship, but Bodle's in front now. Bodle for Ben Foot wins the East Coast contract as Hawke's Bay Hurdles. Second the Mighty Machine, Little Bro 5 lengths away. Third followed by Bellop and His Worship, and out went Classic Moon at the last. The horses got away, galloped okay, but I see the rider just standing up, maybe a little winded, the rider of Classic Moon, Clayton Chipperfield, and Fly Past went out on the first occasion.
Bodle, number 1, 5.60 and 2.36. The Mighty Machine, $7.30 and 3 Little Bro, no third tote. Ben Foot, the winning rider, 1.63 past the post race 5 New Zealand. Our next race to come from New Zealand, 3 wins. Let's head to Tauranga.
John Humphreys on his rostrum, and they're ready to go. Gates spring back, they're off and racing. Arduous a trifle slow towards the outside, and Flying Chief, one of the best, to bound out on the inside from Belmont and Go Like L. False Claim is starting to sool up over on the outside, and so is Hilarchi. Promise Keeper is out 5 and 6 wide. Arduous coming right around the outside of Dupre as they squeeze up, only a couple of lengths covering the leading division as they run down the side. About 3 lengths away then at the 800 metre mark to Belmont and Miss Pickaway. A further 3 lengths away then to Royal Jig, followed by Celtic Crest on the outside. Second to last, and Ariba has dropped out to last of all as they run down the side of the track now, coming to the point of the home turn. 600 to go, and the leading division here over on the inside as they start to come around the home turn, and they're rounding the bend with about 500 metres to go now, and the leader as they come into the straight. False Claim is tackling them now. It's False Claim over on the outside, about to go up and tackle this leader over on the inside as they come down now with the best part of about 300 metres to go. Arduous is starting to wind up with a big run, and Go Like L is coming through in the middle. It's Arduous and Go Like L coming in up the False Claim, and just in behind them there is Count 5. Arduous right down the outside, swamping them. It's Arduous on the outside all the way. Arduous wide for the entire journey. He's won it from False Claim, Promise Keeper, and Go Like L was just in behind them, and then came Flying Chief was there, and Dupre it was over on the inside. Then Celtic Crest and Ariba. Count 5 back towards the inside. Then came Belmont, and behind those runners then was Royal Jig, then Miss Pickaway, and Hilarchi has dropped out to last of all. This is a phenomenal effort.
Best mare we've seen on New Zealand racing today. Arduous number 2, $2 for the win, $1.20 for the place. Michael Walker was the winning rider. 16 False Claim at 9.60. It's a photo finish for third, and there's a few there too. She had no luck at all from that wide barrier. She covered plenty of territory, but she's still been able to win. Her class got her through. Arduous number 2 makes it 5 starts for 4 wins. New Zealand race 7, a race from Hastings coming up in 13 minutes time, and Love Proposal 26, 3 No Trump at 48, 25 Redmore, Notion 870, CC's Gold 560, Zomp 490 and 8 Felton Road is at $4.70. 520 Emblems Quest 18 for Capelli, Lovers Lane 19 and Tauranga Star is at $14. That's New Zealand race 7 coming up in 13 minutes time. The favourites in New Zealand are 7 Zomp and number 6 CC's Gold, with a good hope given to 9 Emblems Quest. 13 minutes until start time, so let's head across to Cheltenham in the meantime for our preview of today's main meeting in Adelaide, and joining us is Terry McAuliffe. Good morning to you, Terry.
Yeah, thank you, Matthew Browning. A very good morning to you, and good morning, everyone. Welcome to our coverage of Cheltenham race.
Number 5 of the day, Love Proposal's ready. They're off and running. Lovers Lane was the slowest to get going, and Zomp began well from out wide, and CC's Gold immediately turns on the horsepower. Going with that pairing was Aotearoa Star, then Felton Road as they reach the 1,000. A couple back and behind is No Trump. They're followed by Redmore. Emblems Quest about midfield, then Capelli, and over on the outside of that is Notion, 2 lengths or 3 lengths away then to Love Proposal, and the tail ender is Lovers Lane. Inside the 800 metres they come now, where CC's Gold is the leader by a length and a half now on Zomp on the inside, and Aotearoa Star moving forward. They're followed by Felton Road, who's settled 4th at the 600 metres. Capelli's along the inside next of No Trump, and followed back then by Emblems Quest as Notion went around them. The last few are Redmore back to the tail, just ahead of it Lovers Lane, and Love Proposal is last. At the top of the straight, 400 to go, and CC's Gold hugging the rail, the leader. Zomp over on the outside is starting to lengthen, so too Aotearoa Star. In behind them Felton Road, and Notion is coming into it, and Emblems Quest found a gap and used it pretty well. CC's Gold from Zomp and Emblems Quest, and Notion over on the outside kept going. The leader CC's Gold the inside, Emblems Quest trying hard on the outside. CC's Gold and Emblems Quest, CC's Gold, Emblems Quest, nothing in that. Zomp probably third, followed by Love Proposal, Felton Road. The next to go by was Aotearoa Star, No Trump, then Capelli, Redmore and Lovers Lane.
Perhaps 9 from 6 and 7, Set Mowbray, and shortly we'll be heading trackside and linking up with our caller. It's over 1,400 metres. Supports come for Dollars and Gold, a Palace Music horse, which is a winner this track and 3 wins at this distance. And ran second to Rapa 2 runs back. Yes or No's been in good form. It's put together consecutive open class wins, a good record at this track, and Matter prepared. Petonk number 4 at $10, looking to break back into form. Genuine Strike racing very well. That $12 quote looks good when you look at its seconds. At its past 2 runs, a Taki. Before that was a Tarapa winner. Each time was in open company. Manchu Warrior, a 4th, 2 runs back. Was a stakes performer when last in work. Call Minder, number 7, at $7.40, has a good fresh record, coming off an 11-week freshen up after winning 2 qualities at Trentham and Tauranga when last in work. We go across the page. Masterline, $11 chance to win a 4 runs back. Meteorites a scratching look, one of the hardest to catch. $15 for Felamy Lad. Ma Danseuse, 23. Night Talk, number 13, is first up. Doesn't have a lot of first up form. Regatta by Yachty out of a Grosvenor mare. Noel Eels puts the polish on, and the Boom Apprentice Michael Walker is up. $4.40, has won 2 of its past 3 runs. Admittedly an easier company, but has won 4 of its 7 career starts to date. So Regatta could be the up-and-comer, and Michael Walker is in the saddle. So Michael Walker, who's breaking all sorts of records in his first season in the saddle. We'll take this very short break, back with the last from New Zealand.
Fight fans, get your weekly dose of boxing's best on Sky KO.
As they near start time, there's been a very good go on the New South Wales tote Dollars and Gold, number 2, horse that placed Tarapa 2 runs back behind Genuine Strike. A horse who's engaged here, number 5, Genuine Strike at $11. So a couple of good moves on the tote. You'll get good value, no doubt, for those of you that are wagering on the New Zealand races. This is the last of the Kiwi races for today, and the first from Warwick Farmers, due in around 10 minutes. The runners are in the enclosure there. One more check of the full market New Zealand, if you've taken one at longer odds. And number 1 is Sir James at longer odds. It's 25s. 13's Dollars and Gold. They're almost set for a 660 yes or no. We'll check over the page. Call Minder has come in sharply in betting. And let's take you back to the track. Here's Darryl.
Call Minder began nicely, getting out very fast was the local. Mardon Seuss is the first to show out from Masterly over on the outside and Fellomy Ladder. They've been followed then by Call Minder on the outside, who's starting to charge over as they settle down into stride, and they've been hotly pressed then by the Kainuna Kid, who's going around the outside, and Regatta is spearing up into second placing now. The leading division break out about 2 lengths then to win behind the Manchu Warrior, then Yes or No followed by Patong, Genuine Strike the outsider, and they've been followed then by in behind those horses Night Talk, 1.5 lengths then to Dollars and Gold and Sir James the Whipper winner. It's a cracking pace as they run down the side, and the Kiwi Fruit with 700 to go, and it's the local Mardon Seuss in front by 1 length over Regatta on the outside. 2.5 lengths away to Fellomy Lad, who's getting up on the inside of Call Minder as they come down to the home bend. Then the Kainuna Kid, who's coming right around the outside. Sweeney is hooked to the outside on Yes or No as they wheel the home bend, and they've been followed then by Sir James and Genuine Striker also pulled to the outside, but it's Mardon Seuss the leader into the straight. Mardon Seuss over Fellomy Lad, who gets the split and goes out after this leader, but Mardon Seuss is going well, 2 lengths in front of Fellomy Lad. They've been followed then by Patong, who's coming down the outside, but it's Mardon Seuss still the leader. Fellomy Lad is starting to reel it in now. Mardon Seuss on the inside, the whips are cracking. Fellomy Lad grabs it, gets up, and Fellomy Lad from Mardon Seuss, Manchu Warrior. Look at the ghostly grey. Sir James was an eye catcher the outside. They've been followed then by Regatta. In behind them then Dollars and Gold, and behind them Patonk and Genuine Strike. Call Minder put in an ordinary one today, followed by Masterly. Yes or No dropped out with the Kainuna Kid, and Night Talk was one of the last runners over the line. Fellomy Lad camped off the pace for most of the way, has pounced at the 250 metre mark. Looked as though Michelle Wen had the prize here. Mardon Seuss, you should have heard the roar from the crowd at the 200 metre mark when they thought the local horse had the race won. But Lindsay Hoffman, she's a very promising young apprentice, Lindsay. She bided a time, pulled this 8-year-old to the outside of the 200, and Fellomy Lad, perfectly ridden, has pounced and won. From on the inside, a battling run by Mardon Seuss, and Manchu Warrior gets third, and a great run by Sir James. There's an improver's run for Sir James, Adrian, after one of our highlights today.
Well, he tracked them up to the turn, didn't he?
Okay, we'll leave it there, the New Zealand coverage, and some great racing there today. A bit of a blowout result in the last, though. The Quinella will pay $254, big trifecta $3,177. Fellomy Lad had been racing pretty well too. A third in big time open company behind Meteorite last time out, followed a fourth at Ellerslie, also an open company, a Wild Rampage horse, trained out of Matamata. Big results. Warwick Farm, Stew and